Alright, what's up guys, welcome back to a new video on East Coast Manga. So it is very hot once again, and I want to try to make this as quick as possible without, making it too quick. Also still have natural lighting right now, so I don't want to turn on any other lights. So let's get right to this. Now, hopefully you'd already seen my video where I talk about TV shows that I think would be made into, or could be made into, like really interesting manga and anime. Now, we're going to talk about movies today. And like last video, don't get upset, like this isn't something that I actually think would happen or even can happen, but it's just like a hypothetical concept and I really like it. Now today we're going to be focusing more on manga than anime because they're movies. I don't know, it's just, most of them don't really need to be animated. So specifically, I'd love to talk about movies that I picked out that I think would really benefit from beautiful art and awesome story, be put onto multiple manga pages. And some of these, probably most of these, I'd like to see like a multi-volume set, but some of them would be more like a one-shot, or what I consider a one-shot. Some of these like 3 volumes put into one, and that's the whole thing. Also, I'm not going to talk about the movies too much just because you can go online and look up trailers for them while you're watching this or after you watch it. And down below in the comment section, I'd love to hear your picks on what you think movie would make a really awesome manga. Now, this is my personal opinions, this is just some stuff that I thought up. I could have gone online and looked up like top 10 movies ever and picked those, but that's not how I wanted to do this. So in no particular order, I want to start with Train to Busan. This was a awesome movie, and it's a Korean film, and most of you guys have probably heard about it, a zombie film. I think this could be made into a really sick manga. I don't know, I mean, you could probably extend it. It's kind of, it would probably have similar vibes to I Am a Hero, but you have 2 very different stories. Like this manga specifically, I wouldn't make more than like maybe 5 volumes. I would just make like, like dope, high quality 4 to 5 volumes on this movie. Next up, we have Inception. Now, this is probably one of my top picks because this movie in itself is very confusing, but it's a awesome concept that I think could be made. This one actually I feel like could be made into an amazing manga or an amazing anime series. I would actually love a like longer drawn out like TV show or manga or anime. The concept is so cool. Real quick, the concept is basically, for anyone who doesn't know or hasn't watched it, because it is a little older in film now, but I think the concept of being able to like enter people's minds and for them to be able to like create worlds and just it's a super cool concept. I think really needs to be hashed out way more. Now next we have Bird Box, which a lot of you guys have probably heard about. It was super popular on Netflix. I think this could be made into a pretty awesome like apocalyptic type manga that, maybe it's not too many volumes, but some, like somewhere between like maybe 5 or 6 volumes. Now, if you really wanted to get more into the open world or like multiple different characters throughout that movie, or just create your own, you could definitely make it into a longer series. But I thought that movie had a pretty neat concept to it. Next we have a classic, At Night at the Museum. Now, I think this is a really cool movie, and I know there's been a couple made after it, but just the concept of these creations within the museum coming alive, and the historical like purpose of all of these, I don't even know what you would call them, museum attractions? I don't know, but I know when you put history and manga together, it works out pretty well. So I think this would be a really cool kind of, maybe just a couple volumes, but at the same time it could be expanded. But specifically the artwork I think could be done really cool. And yeah, next we have another classic with Jurassic Park. I think this could definitely be a longer series just because of the amount of stuff that you could potentially do. And not even going on the story, just more so the concept of some of these movies and the setting and just kind of like what unravels. You don't really have to follow the story if you were to, make a manga. In the concept that I'm talking about, just the world itself is such a cool, like, crazy dinosaurs and humans on this island. I mean, there's a lot that you could build up to things going wrong where it would still be a very interesting manga as you're building up to that. Next we have Predator, way throwback classic. I think Predator could be made into a really awesome manga. I think the artwork that could be done would be amazing. It could be super graphic, story could be fantastic, the writing could be really interesting, and yeah, so that's another one of my choices. Now another one which is a little more lighthearted, we have Sandlot. I think Sandlot could be cool, like a nice like 3-volume series. It's just, I had to add something a little more lighthearted to the series because this series is kind of dark. And I don't know, I just wanted to add something a little fun to it, a little bit of a twist. And then next, going back with the dark, we have Final Destination. I would love to see this in manga form, or this concept in manga form. It is so freaking cool. And then for you guys who maybe don't know, it's basically, you know, like groups of people who are able to escape death by, you know, like whatever, like having this weird sense, and you know, they were supposed to get on this plane and the plane ended up crashing, but they decided not to get on the plane, and then basically death and karma and all that is basically killing them off one by one. It's really cool, really interesting, and with the way that people die, I think it could be drawn super graphic, and yeah, I mean, I would just love to see that. Next is I Am Legend, moving back into kind of an apocalypse feel. I just think apocalypse plus manga and artwork is just a really good mix. I mean, The Walking Dead was a graphic novel before it was a TV show. Then last on this list, kind of a random pick, but it just kind of popped into my head, is Jojo Rabbit. If you guys haven't watched this, I 100% recommend you watch it. The trailer didn't really do it justice for me. Like, when we went into it and we watched the movie, it was way better than what we thought it was going to be. It's really funny. It has a bunch of dark humor moments. And yeah, I think just a manga based off the concept of this kid, you know, growing up in Germany during, you know, the period of World War II, and his imaginary best friend being Hitler, but like this, like what he imagines Hitler would be. It's honestly, it's super, super funny. And if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend you watch it. So that's been it for my picks. Like I said earlier in the video, I'd love to hear your picks down below. You know, like I said, I easily could have just gone on Google and searched up like top 10, top 15, top 10, 20 movies and pick those, but I want to choose something a little different, things that I would actually like to see in manga. Now it's never gonna happen, but I don't know, I just like the concept of it. So that's been it for this video, and I will catch you guys later.